Say, for example, they came with irregular periods. I look beyond. I now ask them religiously, are they getting good amount of sleep?
Mm.
Are they regularly exercising?
Mm.
Are they eating a balanced nutrition in their diet? Are they having any kind of stress precipitating factors? Invariably, women or girls come to me when they have their board exams,
Mm.
the NEET PG exams, or when they're relocating, they're
What is the
looking.
symptom that they come to you with?
Periods have not come for 4 months.
Mm.
I've
And you
not
can
had
clearly associate
periods.
that with a stressing factor.
Yeah, or a relocation, or a marriage, or something which is kind of giving them that occult stretch which they themselves are not aware of. So this made me wonder whether, apart from the nutrition, exercise, and everything, the two major factors which do have a lot of hormonal interplay, particularly in women, are going to be stress and sleep
It's the main
inappropriation.
thing. Ma'am, in your experience, can you give us an example of how you identified stress as a factor in a patient coming in with your symptoms?
Typically, what happens in patients or in women who have had a relocation, say, for example, they came from the north
Mm.
and settled down in Chennai recently for the 6 months or 1 year,
Mm.
and suddenly have a complete change of their period pattern. This is not an uncommon
Is
issue.
it right? It's very common.
It's quite common
Mm.
because this being an IT hub, or they come on a bank transfer, they are here, the
Mm.
food needs to get adjusted. They
Mm.
probably, like you earlier said, they might have to manage a lot of things on their
Mm.
own. It's long hours, and they do not choose their food in the correct
Mm.
manner.
Mm.
They probably have a lot of processed food at that time because they don't have time to do home cooked meals.
Ah.
And all these amount to the stress factor which I'm talking about: travel, settling down, lack of sleep, everything put together. They suddenly have, and they mentioned that I've never had these kind of problems, and
Mm.
suddenly they do have.
And in your practice, when they modify all this, they do get better?
They definitely get better
Mm.
because it's about only giving them that time to settle in
Mm.
and continue the so called good things which they are doing to keep them healthy or
Mm.
keep up their healthier practices. So their usual complaint will be, I'm eating the same type of food, or I'm doing the regular workouts which I'm used to do, still I'm not shedding weight, or in fact I'm gaining weight. That made me think the factor beyond exercise and nutrition, there's something beyond which is helping them to put on weight or preventing them losing weight. And the answer would come out as lack of sleep or stress,
Ah.
which is both inflammatory in nature, and that increases the cortisol and acts as a counter regulatory mechanism for whatever weight loss practices they are doing in the first
Of
place.
course, of course. I always say that if a woman has tried everything,
Yeah,
diet, exercise, but still not losing weight, they're underestimating the perceived stress scale that they're on.
absolutely,
And it's
absolutely.
it's a huge thing. So I want to come back to menopause, and then I'll have to ask you, what is the first real sign of menopause that a patient can actually see?
Yeah. Menopause can pretty much start with 3 to 5 years before this period irregularity
Ah.
as perimenopausal symptoms.
Mm.
The perimenopausal symptoms can be somatic in the form of hot flushes, night sweats,
Somatic means external.
bodily
Mm.
expression of these kind of symptoms,
You
suggestive
think me
of.
as a layman, ma'am?
Ha,
Okay, I'm.
you can experience
Huh,
suddenly going very hot,
huh.
and suddenly when everybody is in the AC, you would want the AC turned down because you're feeling cold, and the next moment you're literally sweaty hot because there's a sudden hot flush because of the vasodilatation which can happen. The vessels open up suddenly because of the fluctuating levels of hormones.
Okay.
So which is why I commonly tell my women it's the mothers who suffer from these symptoms because the hormones are yo-yoing,
Mhm.
whereas the grandmother is now used to a low level of hormones all through, she's not experiencing that.
Ah.
So the typical perimenopausal symptoms happen with the somatic changes where the skin becomes really flushed, you feel completely red in your face. Our women are of a darker color, they might not feel you might not perceive that they become red in the face, but they can make sure that suddenly some hot feeling is coming on,
Mm,
especially behind their ears. The whole body is burning. That's what they feel. It's
mm,
quite uncomfortable for women who experience, and sudden bout of sweating, which is quite uncomfortable for them.
mm,
Um, this is not very pleasant. If it happens in a workplace, they find it hard. If it happens in the night, it causes itself sleep deprivation, sleep disturbance. And when they are awakened, they are not able to get back to sleep. And having learned about sleep as part of lifestyle medicine, I have now come to believe it's not the number of hours you're in bed, it's the quality of sleep you have,
mm.
and the type of sleep you have and the cyclicity of it also matters for your betterment of health.